draw us close to you. Make our hearts anew. Lord, send your spirit and fall afresh on us. Fill us with your power, Lord, and fill us with your love.
The next is the most powerful spiritual weapon, the Word of God. If prayer is like the air that we breathe, then the Word of God is the food for our soul. If we read the Bible and pray every day, we will grow and grow. If you neglect Bible and prayer, you will shrink and shrink. Maybe many of us shrink because of this. I think it was Mark who referred to Jeremiah, who receives the living word into his mouth. Because when he was called, he said to himself, he said to the Lord, Lord, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. I am sure that was the case with most of us. Maybe we were not young physically in years, but we were young spiritually. And we did not know how to speak. The Lord gives us the power when He gives the word. So if we are people who read the word, then what happened to Jeremiah happens to us. Then Yahweh put out His hand and touched my mouth, and the Lord said to me, now I have put my words into your mouth. The Lord puts His words into our mouth. We eat His words. We consume His words. The words are within us, and then that really makes a difference. See what Prophet Jeremiah has recorded in Jeremiah chapter 20 verse 7 to 9, again referred by Brother Mark. You have seduced me. That is what Jeremiah says. And I allowed myself to be seduced. You have overpowered me. You are the stronger. I would say to myself, I will not speak in His name anymore. But there seemed to be a fire burning in my heart. The Word of God becomes a fire within our heart, which will not allow us to stay silent. It will not allow us to keep quiet. That fire explodes. That fire explodes. And that has been the experience of Prophet Jeremiah. Next is another prophet, Ezekiel. What does the Lord do when He calls Ezekiel? He gives him the scroll to eat. He eats the scroll. It tastes like honey. Now just go to Jeremiah. It's very interesting to see, Ezekiel. Now the Lord tells Ezekiel, Son of man, I am sending you to the Israelites, rebels who have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have revolted against me to this day. Hard to face and obstinate of heart are they to whom I am sending you. This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3 and 4. Now, Ezekiel was being sent to a group of people who were rebels. They were very obstinate, hard of heart. And what did the Lord do? The Lord fed Ezekiel with the scroll, the Word of God. He ate it. It tasted sweet. And he goes to the people. And what happens? See there in Ezekiel chapter 37, 1 to 10, Ezekiel stands before the people on top of the valley. I visualize it could be like a retreat that you preach in a parish. You are the preacher, you stand at the pulpit, and then there are the parishioners there, the people, the ordinary people who have come for the Life in the Spirit seminar, and they are just like the valley of bones spiritually. Isn't it? Very often they are the valley of bones. So if the prophet has eaten the scroll, if that has tasted honey, then the prophet prophesies to the valley of bones. And what happens? There is a clatter of the bones join the bones, then there are sinews formed, there is flesh formed, there is skin covering it, and then it gets life, and finally there is an army. Just see, the valley of bones has turned into an army, a vast army that is standing aright.
Lord, send your Spirit and fall afresh on us. Fill us with your power, Lord, and fill us with your love. Lord, send your Spirit and fall afresh on us.